Boosie Badazz's entire world collapsed in the courtroom as he was sentenced to life imprisonment, and the sight of Charleston White celebrate his downfall pushed him over the edge, sparking a dramatic and chaotic outburst that left everyone stunned, proving that Boosie may truly be going through the darkest and most painful chapter of his life yet. This is a moment that shook the culture, a courtroom scene that will be replayed and discussed for years, not only because of Boosie's uncontrollable rage, but because of the symbolism of what it meant. The fall of a legend in real time. Now, let's break it all down, the sentence, the reaction, the chaos, and why this moment will go down in history as one of the most heartbreaking spectacles in hip-hop's long entanglement with the law. Please do not forget to like this video, share and subscribe to this channel if you want more updates like this. Thank you. Now, let's get back into the video. The courtroom was packed, cameras flashing, media outlets camped outside, and fans glued to their screens waiting to hear the verdict on Boosie Badazz, a rapper who has long carried a reputation of being one of the most outspoken, raw, and authentic voices in hip-hop. For years, Boosie embodied the struggles of the streets, the unfiltered realities of growing up in Louisiana, and the pride of being able to make it out despite the odds stacked against him. But on this day, none of that mattered. The judge's words cut through the air like a knife: life imprisonment. Those two words didn't just echo through the room. They crushed Boosie's spirit in a way fans had never seen before. And while the sentence itself was devastating, what happened afterward created the true spectacle that people can't stop talking about. Charleston White, known widely for his polarizing personality and his tendency to mock rappers at their lowest points, was in the courtroom that day. As soon as the sentence was delivered, witnesses say Charleston smirked, clapped his hands, and even shouted that justice had been served. For Boosie, who was already visibly shaken and fighting back tears, this was the breaking point. His body trembled, his jaw tightened, and in an instant, he exploded with rage. He sprinted from his position, breaking past officers, and charged straight at Charleston White. What followed was chaos. Boosie swung punches wildly, his voice cracking with anger as security scrambled to restrain him. The courtroom, already tense, erupted in gasps and screams. For a brief moment, the trial, the sentence, and the dignity of the legal setting all vanished. It was just raw emotion, pure pain spilling out in the form of violence. To understand why this moment happened, we have to go deeper into Boosie's life. His career has always been defined by pain and perseverance. From battling health struggles to legal battles that seem to follow him at every turn, Boosie's life has been a roller coaster of highs and lows. And yet, through it all, he always presented himself as unbreakable, a fighter who never bowed to anyone or anything. This courtroom outburst showed the world that even the strongest can break. It showed that beneath the bravado, beneath the music and the fame, there's still a man who bleeds, a man who hurts, a man who feels betrayed by the system and mocked in his darkest hour. Charleston White's role in this cannot be overlooked either. For years, Charleston has made it his mission to expose, antagonize, and even troll rappers, claiming he's teaching them accountability, while simultaneously profiting off their controversies. His presence at Boosie's sentencing was no accident. It was calculated, a performance in itself. To Charleston, seeing Boosie fall was vindication. But to Boosie, it was a betrayal of everything he had endured. The moment Charleston clapped and celebrated, it wasn't just about the sentence. It was about humiliation, about being mocked when his world had just been stripped away. That was enough to make him lose all control. The punch Boosie threw wasn't just physical, it was symbolic. It symbolized every frustration he had held inside, every injustice he felt he had suffered, every betrayal, every tear shed behind closed doors. The courtroom may have seen a violent outburst, but to Boosie supporters, it was a final act of defiance from a man who refused to let anyone laugh at his pain. Still, the aftermath was brutal. Officers quickly tackled Boosie to the ground, restraining him while Charleston continued to shout and taunt from a safe distance. The judge ordered order to be restored, but the damage had already been done. The headlines were already being written. Boosie attacks Charleston White after life sentence. And so, the question now is, what happens next? Boosie's legal team is likely scrambling, knowing this outburst could complicate appeals or future hearings. His fans are rallying, flooding social media with messages of support, frustration, and anger at the system. Charleston White, unsurprisingly, is relishing in the moment, posting videos and giving interviews where he brags about how Boosie proved him right. The culture itself is split. Some see Boosie's actions as self-destructive, while others see it as human, as a natural response to being humiliated in his lowest moment. But what cannot be denied is that Boosie is going through the absolute worst chapter of his life. This isn't just about prison time. It's about legacy, about identity, about a man who gave so much to music and culture being forced to confront the reality that his freedom has been stripped away. For someone like Boosie, whose music has always celebrated resilience, independence, and living life on his own terms, a life sentence is more than punishment. It's a crushing blow to his very existence. And to make it worse, to have Charleston White dancing on his grave, so to speak, turned the moment into one of the most painful spectacles hip-hop has ever witnessed. As the days go by, the debates will continue. Some will say Boosie should have held his composure, that attacking Charleston only feeds into the narrative the system has painted of him. Others will argue that no man could sit still while being mocked during such a devastating moment. And maybe that's the truth, that this wasn't about right or wrong, it was about humanity. It was about a man breaking under the weight of it all. The image of Boosie lunging at Charleston White will live on in hip-hop history, not because it was a fight, but because it represented something bigger. It was a clash between pain and mockery, between a man losing everything and another man capitalizing on it. It was raw, ugly, unfiltered truth, the kind of moment that shows us the fragility of even our strongest heroes. Boosie's story is far from over, but this chapter will forever be remembered as the day he lost control in court, the day he reminded the world that behind the fame, behind the music, he is still human. And now, the world waits. Will Boosie find a way to fight back from behind bars? Will Charleston continue to taunt him from the outside? Will the culture learn anything from this painful moment? Or will it just become another meme, another viral clip in the endless cycle of internet mockery? These are the questions we'll have to keep asking. But one thing is clear. Boosie is hurting more than he ever has, and this may truly be the darkest point in his life.